Hey everybody, what's up? It's Melanie from Lost and Found. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm heading out thrifting. I've got a couple thrift stores that I'm going to take you guys along with me. It's a beautiful day. The sun is melting here. I've stopped by and grabbed a cup of McDonald's coffee. Yeah, coffee snobs, you can comment and tell me how terrible it is. I know, but I'm out at home and I need some bad. So we're gonna drink this, we're gonna thrift, we're gonna see what we can find. And then of course I'll share it with you guys in our haul part of the video in just a little bit. So let's get going. This thrift store is just a couple miles from my house, and I try to pop in, every couple weeks just to see what they have. I have found some really awesome treasures there before, and I've also had, days that are kind of a miss. They typically don't have a lot of furniture, but it's worth just taking a little walk around. I try to kind of look through the whole store when I go because it's not a huge place and you just don't want to miss anything. Okay, so at this thrift store, they have a ton of fabric, and all of these right here are shower curtains, which is crazy how many shower curtains they have. But another customer that I was chatting with says that she takes them and sews them and turns them into outdoor pillows because they have that water-resistant fabric, which I kind of thought was genius. Here is the glassware section, plates, dishes. I thought this little teapot was cute, kind of cute for Easter. And this I really thought about. I just, if it had been like $1 or 50 cents maybe, but I wasn't in love with it for $2. This was a little vintage teacup, which was cute, but I don't know, just by itself, it kind of needed maybe the saucer. Here is a cup and saucer together, and I thought about them, but I'm just not selling a lot of cups and saucers, and I have a ton in my own personal collection too, so I don't really need them, but it was a cute piece and in nice condition. Thought long and hard, y'all, about this lamp. It was only $7.50, and yes, I know it's not maybe the most beautiful thing or everybody's style, but it was definitely vintage, and I could see somebody really using it in a creative way in their space, but I passed on it. Did go over and look through all the books. I'm always looking at books, and it was obvious that somebody recently had donated like a huge cookbook collection because there was all of these cookbooks here. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about some of the books that I found later on in the haul. But yeah, I just always stop and look through the different books. The prices on them are great. It's 3 hardback books for $5. So even these like big coffee table books or bigger display books were still just 3 for $5, which is a pretty awesome price. As I sit here and watch this video, I can see that Better Homes and Gardens cottage style book that I just completely skipped over. I swear I did not see it on the shelf. I did not notice it until I started recording for this video. So, oh well. These glasses I thought were cute. Like, I don't know, for $2 a piece, that kind of adds up. But if you were doing, a patio party or something, they would be fun for entertaining, but weren't quite what I was looking for, so I passed on them. They had a ton of just little ice cream dishes is what I would call these. I don't know if that's the exact technical term for them, but you know, if you were doing like a little birthday party and you wanted to have some, you know, make a little ice cream parfait. I mean, gosh, there were so many there that you could for sure get and put together just a really cute little tablescape. And this was an old piece here. I really thought about it. $2 wasn't a bad price. It's got the mark, a little bit of crazing. I don't know. I wasn't in love with it, even though it was old. I just wasn't quite in love with it, so I went ahead and put it back. I also passed on this milk glass. I don't know. They just weren't quite what I was looking for. This little guy, though, I did grab, and actually he's already sold, so I can't show him to you later in the haul video, but he was 75 cents and just quirky, so I took him home with me. Liked the little dog too, but I think they were just asking a little bit too much money for him, and I wasn't quite sure how old he was. The rest of the stuff up here was just kind of junk, nothing that I was particularly excited about today. Okay, and down here was the find from the store. Now I'm going to show you this to you guys a little bit more later in the haul video, but I took a chance on this piece. It is a nutcracker set. It's $5. It is just so quirky and different that I just couldn't pass it up. So I'll tell you more about it here in a little bit. Okay, first up was kind of slim pickings. I'll admit it. It was not my best day at that store, but I did find a couple cool things, but I for sure need to shop some more. So I finished my coffee and we're headed into store number 2. And y'all, it's just crazy. Like, I just really get so excited every time I go into a store. Who's with me? Who gets excited every time you're about to walk into a thrift store or a flea market? Because you just don't ever know what you're gonna find. So let's head into this one. Now this thrift store is a lot bigger, and I, again, have found some great things there in the past. I'm not a stamper, but man, if you were, like, they had the stamps like crazy at this thrift store, and those things really can be pretty expensive. So they have a good arts and crafts kind of whole area to look through. And this is just the hardware section. It's kind of empty right now because people just aren't cleaning out their stuff yet. But here in maybe 4 to 6 more weeks, I imagine those shelves will get full as people start doing spring cleaning. And this is the dishware section. I always start over here and go through this whole section. I have found some great pieces of dishware, some iron stone, some fun vases. I've found so many things over here in this section. This is something that I take home with me. It is an English teapot. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it later on in our haul video, but it came home with me. And I liked this little teapot too. That was hand painted on there. $2.15, and the blue tag is 75% off. So I passed on it though, since it didn't have the lid. If it had the lid, then I for sure would have grabbed it. This little crock with the Eiffel Tower on it caught my eye, but it's not vintage, and so I did pass on it. $3.15, that is the full price, and so just decided that wasn't what I was looking for today. Looked through a few of their coffee mugs, and this little copper mug, it wasn't in that great condition, nothing real special, so passed on that too. And this is so funny. If you can see on it, it says Mike 72, so old Mike, he's missing his cup here. These I also did not buy, but I wanted to show them to you. It is a card set. Like, these are still wrapped in plastic. This thing is brand new, but it is from the Sheet Metal Workers International Local 34 Union Chapter, which I just thought was kind of interesting. And then went through the basket section. Most of these are really just nothing to write home about, but every once in a while you can find one that has some good patina to it. I did grab one or two from this area that I'll show you more later. Okay, so more kind of slim pickings there, but a few things. Someone literally walked in front of me and grabbed all of the milk glass vases right before I did. So that was a bummer, but we've got time for one more stop before I got to go pick up the kids from school. So we're gonna head there now. So this is the Salvation Army in town, and I have found some incredible finds here before, including the huge art piece that hangs above my couch in my living room. Was just looking for, you know, some little trinkets today. Some of these little trinket boxes were cute, but they just, you know, I don't know, they weren't quite vintage enough, so I passed on them. I do love these old little bird statues. I know they're just kind of quirky, but I just really enjoy them. And the little swan vase back there caught my eye, but he is not priced, and they have a very, very firm, if it is not priced, they will not sell it to you that day policy. So knowing that, I just put him back. And check this out. As I'm watching this video, look what you see on that shelf on the right. Can you see that brass bunny? So I totally missed that at the store. I just happened to catch it while I'm watching this video. So I did grab a few things from here. I don't really have them on camera for you guys, but I will show them to you later on in the haul. Still, it wasn't an amazing trip, not my best, but I'm excited about the few things that I did find. Okay, so it's a new day and we are hitting up one more thrift store in town. I have not been to this one, honestly, for several years, probably since I moved here. I used to come to this when I would come visit my family, my husband's family that lives here in town, but since we have moved here, I haven't been, so I'm kind of anxious to see what's inside, and we're gonna see if we can kind of round out this haul. Okay, last up on the Arkansas thrift store tour. Like I said, this was a store I hadn't been to in a long time. I did spot this piece of furniture, but this is not one of the nicer French provincial pieces, and it's missing some hardware, so I for sure passed. But as always, I take a stroll through the glasses and dishware section. They had a lot there, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, some of it I'm just kind of over with, and for whatever reason, I just wasn't excited about it today. I kind of didn't want to mess with it. But I did spot this pretty blue plate, and that was something that I decided to take home with me. This old biscuit cutter caught my eye. These are actually just kind of hard to find, and I do make biscuits by hand. I do have one at home, though, that was a little cleaner and sturdier than that one, so I passed on it, but those can be really hard to find. And then this is that same Anchor Hocking, I think it's the Prescott pattern or Prescott pattern. They had that dish, and then the oil and the vinegar. Y'all, that stuff is just all over the place. I keep finding it everywhere. They're not my taste, and I did not buy them, but I wanted to show them to you guys because it's just an example of what you can find out if you are in kind of the boho mid-century, you know, vibe. Then these would have been some really cool dishes. They had 2 sets that would have been great additions for anybody that was looking for that kind of stuff. Man, oh man, did they have some Christmas. And I didn't buy any because I don't like to hold on to inventory that long. We just did Christmas. I don't want it sitting in my garage all through the year. But I love these little houses, and I'm gonna go back and check closer to Christmas to see if some of them are still there. And then this great wall of coffee mugs, they were just kind of fun to look through. I didn't buy any, but I enjoyed looking through them. Sometimes you can find some funny ones. And I always look through when I can spot canvases. I love kind of vintage amateur painted canvases, and I found some beautiful ones before. Unfortunately, these were all a little bit too amateur, so there weren't really any that I wanted to take home with me today. Okay, hey there everybody. It is time to go through our haul. So I hope you're excited to see what we found. It's been a couple days since I was out thrifting. I wound up going to 3 different thrift stores, and I did toss in a quick stop at an estate sale on Saturday that unfortunately I don't have any video of, but we found some pretty interesting things, and it's just fun because you just really don't ever know. Like there wasn't anything in particular I was looking for. So I was just surprised kind of by some of these finds, but I'm really excited about some of them. So I've got a cup of coffee ready to go, and I'll point out real quick to you too, we got my cat back there. He's currently taking a bath, one of the 2 cats. So you may see him here in a minute. And also, before we get started, this has nothing to do with anything else, but it's just important to me, so I thought I would share. I'm filming this video today, the day after Valentine's Day, and that is actually the 5-year anniversary of when I had spinal surgery. So fun fact, yes, I have a scar right here, a piece of titanium in my neck. That all happened when I was 37. You can do the math and figure out how old I am now. But if anybody that has had any sort of back issues or surgery on their back, you understand just that, you know, it's a big deal, and the excitement of being able to celebrate recovery. So I'm just really grateful for being here, and I'm grateful that I'm healthy and able to do the things that I'm able to do, and certainly don't take any day for granted. So just wanted to throw that out there. But okay, yeah, so let's get started though, walking through our haul. Now, it's funny, sometimes there's like a theme, like I keep finding a bunch of the same stuff, and so there's a little bit of a basket theme. The first one that I found, which I just think is so cute, is this old Easter basket, and it's kind of a peachy pink color. I mean, it's really kind of similar to the color of these flowers, which are my Valentine's Day flowers. But I loved it. I loved that it's got that kind of original paint on it, and you know, it's sturdy, it's in great shape. So for any sort of Easter vignette or vintage Easter decor, this is going to be a great piece. And it was $2, I think. I also grabbed this basket at the thrift store. So you can see the price on it, $4.16, but then it was 75% off of that. So it's nothing, you know, incredibly collectible or old, but it's a good size, it's a good shape, it's sturdy. Definitely something that somebody can use in their home, in their kitchen, to put napkins in. In fact, I may keep it for that and put napkins in it and sit it on my table. You know, use it out on their patio, use it to kind of haul. You know, if you're doing a little picnic outside, you can put your utensils in it. Anyway, for, you know, the price that I wound up paying for it, it was just a great little basket. Okay, and then basket number 3, look at this cutie. Isn't that fun? I've got the handle that goes up and down. So it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of quirky and different. Kind of that boho vibe, but you know, I mean, look how cute it is with some lamb's ear dropped in it. It was an interesting little piece, and it was $1, I believe, somewhere right around there. So basket number 3 for the haul. All right, I also found both of these old brushes, and you may be thinking, Melanie, that is total trash. And I know some of you will think both of these are trash. Why would I buy them? But old brushes are really popular in certain decor styles right now. Kind of the crustier, the better. And so this one is just a floor brush. I've got to work on it a little bit. It still has some of the tag residue, and I think I'm going to get a little, I have a dark antiquing wax, and just kind of darken up this wood a little bit with some of that. This one is an old wallpaper brush, and I may do a little bit of the same antiquing wax on it here, but the patina on this one's pretty good. But old brushes, and the crustier the better. are selling right now, especially anybody that is in my kind of world that paints furniture or does any sort of art or painting. They're using old paintbrushes and old brushes to decorate with, and they're just they provide a lot of texture. You know, if you've got this on the shelf, you can stick some old postcards in it or some old pictures, and you've instantly added kind of some interest and texture to your room. This guy easily could hang on the wall if you have a couple like him. So these were both well under $1 at the thrift store over in the junky hardware section. All right, moving on to something a little less junky. I found these 2 vintage tins, and you guys, I love old tins. I really, really do. I just love the colors on them. I love kind of the advertising, the art. I just think they're really great. So these were great finds. They were both a couple dollars, not much. This one here is Jacob's chocolate, and it says New Orleans on it. And you can still see it says Royal Chocolate, and it's kind of that peachy pink again, very similar to the Easter basket. Opens and closes well. I looked this one up online, and I didn't find a ton of other ones out there. So this one might have a little bit of you know, rarity to it. I don't know that it's particularly collectible, but I think it's fun, especially because it has the New Orleans on it, that it could be a piece that somebody could really enjoy if they've got a tin collection, or if you're just looking for a little catch-all, you know, put your rings and your watch in or something next to your bedside table. This would work really well. And then this one is an English biscuit tin. So look at that, still that bright red and the flowers, and it's gonna cut this, like, you know, crackling alligator look thing going on to it pattern. The top is a little more worn, but you can still see the pattern pretty good. Clean on the inside, worn but clean. Lid opens and closes well. It's marked container made in England on the bottom. There's lots of styles and shapes that look exactly like this with different styles of old English biscuit tins. They have a huge wide variety of prices. Again, I'm selling purely for decorative value, probably, rather than collectible value. But I thought this one was beautiful, and for a couple dollars, it was a great find. Okay, a score from the thrift store. Old plate, Staffordshire, England. It's got the mark on the back. It was $2. It's kind of in between Flow Blue and Transferware. It's got a little bit of kind of the color bleeding and that dark cobalt blue color. This part isn't really, you know, that runny Flow Blue typically, so I'm not sure exactly which to categorize it, but it is old English plate. It's always great when you can find ones with the mark that are the original English china, and for $2, it was definitely worth grabbing at the store. Okay, 2 other pieces, and these I thought these were really interesting, and especially because, you know, I imagine there's somebody's kind of travel memories, or maybe they had some family there, but I'm thinking they're probably somebody's travel memories. And so it's these 2 steins, and they're, you know, kind of heavy pottery pieces, really. And they're both from Germany. And so this one is Munich, and it's got kind of the old town of Munich. And this one is Rothenburg. And this one has the paint that goes all the way around. So both of these were less than $1, which was a great price. Sturdy, clean, somebody can buy them, use them right away. Maybe I need to keep one as a gigantic coffee mug, like probably coffee I drink. But anybody that's a travel junkie or has any sort of kind of German heritage, I thought these were great for the price. I loved the art on them. This one is the art is almost perfect. This one, the art is in great shape, except for the word, a little bit worn right there, but aren't they cool? Especially like the colors on this one. Okay, continuing on, sort of in that same vein, I guess, I grabbed this English teapot from the thrift store. It was $8, and then it was 25% off that. So it was actually one of the more expensive things that I bought. And you guys, I am not an expert in glassware. I'm not an expert in a lot of things, but I try to learn when I find something. And so I did look up. I was trying to figure out if this was an original Brown Betty teapot or not, because it does say, and I don't know if you can see it, but it does say made in England on the bottom. Okay, so you know the Brown Betty teapots, they come from England. They look like this, they're small, they're brown. I don't think this one is technically a Brown Betty, only because from what I read, this little ring right here should have been left unglazed, and it's not. But, you know, that's okay, who cares? For, you know, $6 or whatever I paid for it, it's still just a really cool piece. I like kind of the pattern on it. Definitely still, you know, got the mark that it's made in England. It's in great shape. The only spot, like there's a little chip here. It's almost all on the inside. You can see that much on the outside. Can you see it? Just a tiny bit. And then there on the inside. And I'm pretty sure that's it for the whole piece. So any sort of T-lever or Anglophile, I mean, this I think is 100% still usable. Would be a great piece for someone, and I thought it was well worth taking a risk on it for what I paid for it. Okay, another fun little find. This piece I don't believe is vintage. It was $1 though, but it's just a nice size hobnail jar. So you could put utensils in it, you could put paintbrushes in it, you could use it as just shelf decor, you know, you could put wooden spoons, you could, all sorts of stuff you could do with it. And if you're, you know, people are making candles, you could use it as a gigantic candle vessel. For $1, I went ahead and grabbed it. Found a great stack of some old books. These were kind of spread out between the two thrift stores. You guys, I always grab old books when I find them. This one here, I liked the blue. I look for interesting colors. And this one here, it's got the cover on it, but I bought it, and you can see it was $1.77, and then 75% off of that is what I paid for it. But I bought this one for the green. So this I'm not even going to keep. So I'm gonna have it for the green. So I you know, I'm always using books in decor. I love having collections of them in colors. And then this one that I found, you guys know these old Reader's Digest, you know, collected condensed books, right? They look like this. They've got all the different patterns on them. These have really fun covers. The market is kind of saturated with them. They're everywhere. And so I didn't really grab this one for the cover. Really why I grabbed this one is because it was really inexpensive and it's kind of falling apart. And so, like you can see, it's already coming apart. The same thing with this one. This is an old little kid's book. It's kind of falling apart. I mean, these were maybe $1/4. So old books like this that are pretty much on their way to the trash, that they've already come loose from the binding, a lot of times I will pull them out from the binding and use them to make unbound book stacks. I'll stack a couple of them together and tie them up and sell them that way. Now, there's probably somebody out there who is super angry that hearing that that's what I do to books, but I literally only do it to the ones that are falling apart or that have a ton of water damage or just in terrible shape. And, you know, nobody's gonna want them like they are. The ones that are still bound together and have the pretty colors, or if I can tell that they're a valuable book, then of course I don't rip the cover off of them. But anyway, that's why I'm always kind of on the hunt for old books. And I mean, these were, I don't know, it was maybe $2 for all of these here. Okay, speaking of old books, this was from the thrift store. And it was probably one of the, again, besides the teapot, I think this was technically more expensive than the teapot. I paid $7.50, but it's in this sleeve. It is this old Children's Story of Jesus paper book. And you guys, I love vintage religious things. I love vintage kids books. I mean, just look at the colors on that. Isn't it gorgeous? They just don't, you don't get these colors in things that are out right now. Just that patina and that age, I just love it. But the illustrations on the inside are just beautiful. And I've got to be careful that I don't rip it. It looked like it was in good shape. I think maybe there was one page that had some drawings on it, but no, I'm not finding it now. Beautiful, just beautiful. So I grabbed this. I don't know if I can make much money on it. We'll see. But even if I can't, I loved it myself. And it just may be something that stays here with me. Okay, keeping with the book theme. So same thrift store. I went through their hardback book collection. I always kind of look at kind of like the coffee table books, right? and found some great ones. And it was, I think, all of their hardback books, no matter what size, they were 3 for $5. So I wound up with 4, and so I, paid $5 and some change for them. But this one I grabbed, Square Foot Gardening. So I'm a budding gardener. I've got a 2-year-old garden here in this house in Texas. I couldn't grow jack squat because it was so hot. So now that we're here in Northwest Arkansas, I do try to garden. So this book, I may just keep for myself. I'm not sure, but it's an excellent condition. If I don't keep it, then I'll probably drop it in my booth, put a low price on it because it's springtime. People are doing gardening stuff. I can create a whole kind of gardening vignette, and I think somebody will really appreciate this book. This one I thought was interesting, displaying pictures and photography. It's a decorative book. It's a little bit older. It's not, not in the best shape. It's got a couple little spots on it, but it just has some really neat pictures. And it's all kind of old stuff that's in here. So I just thought the pictures were interesting. A nice just decor book, for somebody that is interested in that. There's a little bit of information about framing and mats and, I don't know, looked cool, so I grabbed it. Another decorating book. This is a big one, and this one's a lot newer, but again, it was, I got all these for $5 and some change. I like the picture on the front for sure, because that kind of has some cool old stuff in it. It's just, it's just chock full of all sorts of various decorating, inspiration. Look at all of that fun old, oops, oh my gosh. And like literally a greeting card. I just fell. Let's see what it says. How crazy. Let's see if there's some money in here. It's funny. It's a Mother's Day card. And it's funny because it's from Evan to Mom. And I have a kid named Evan. So Evan, the book that you gave Mom, I hate to tell you, but she donated it. And I have it now. But how crazy is that? That's kind of weird. Anyway, I thought this was just a good book. Good book to stick in my booth, at a low price. I was pretty sure that somebody would grab it. So much inspiration in here. The original price on it was $35. I can definitely price it less than that. And then I may, enjoy looking through it here myself some too. All right, and then this was the last one that I got that I was really, really excited about. Because again, I was planning on keeping this one. It's kind of that, gardening idea, but it's homegrown, pure and simple. It's recipes for like kind of growing your own food, and then all of these different recipes. And it's a newer book, and it's in excellent condition, except I brought it home, and it was sitting in the box upstairs, and look what happened. Y'all, my dog went to town on this book. He never chews anything. Like, ever. Like, I can count on one hand the 9 years that we've had him, the things that he has chewed. So I don't know why he chewed up this book, and I was really upset about it. And I found him, and he had that super guilty dog look, like he knew that he had done something wrong. But my plan was to resell it because it was just in great condition. Obviously, I can't resell it now. So we're just gonna keep it. Hopefully we're gonna pull some recipes from it this summer. Roasted asparagus with spring garlic scapes and Parmesan. Sounds yummy. Okay, milk glass piece. Always great to grab milk glass. Bought and sold several like this. I love them for little tiny potted ferns, and they just look so cute in here. So anyway, this was a couple bucks. This glass pitcher I grabbed, it was under $3. I have looked and looked and looked to try and find something comparable to it, but can't find something that looks exactly like this. So again, I'm not a glassware expert. If you guys know anything about this, please let me know. But I thought it was really interesting that it's got kind of the cutout handle part here, the quilted, pattern. I've run my fingers all around it. Can't find any chips, in great shape. And so, it's like $2.50 maybe. I thought this was for sure a great piece to grab. Okay, so these guys I was really excited to find. I was almost on my way out of the thrift store thinking that I hadn't found anything, and then I spotted these on the shelf. So look, it is this pair of ceramic doughs. So on the bottom of them, I'll just show you, it says Ghost House Ceramics, okay? I've tried looking that up, haven't found anything. Yeah, see, there he is, there's the fat cat. Haven't found anything. And then Lorraine here. They're both kind of signed Lorraine. So I'm gonna guess that Lorraine did these, whoever Lorraine is. And maybe Ghost House Ceramics was kind of one of those local, you know, go do it yourself ceramic studios like my mom used to go to when I was a kid. And a couple times I went and we had all sorts of painted ceramic stuff in our house that she would go to. So maybe that's where these came from and Lorraine did them, but they are so cute. They're so cute. And they were $1 each. This one is in perfect condition. This one has the tiniest little chip right there, but for Easter time, they're just adorable. And I couldn't pass them up for $1 a piece. And then right below those guys on the shelf, I found this little brass piece. It's the Trail of Ducks. Super cute, super cute. It was just a couple dollars. Now it's missing some of their felt bottoms, but it's a really nice, heavy, old brass piece for a couple bucks. I just need to clean it up a little bit. It was a great find. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Just a few more pieces here. This came from the third thrift store that I went to. It was $3. There's really nothing wrong with it. It's in great shape. I mean, it's not a super high dollar wreath or anything. And I'm pretty sure it's just one that somebody made, but I mean, doesn't have a ton of dust on it. You don't have a bunch of the flowers that have fallen off. Like $3. I mean, I probably couldn't buy the wreath and all the flowers for $3. So got the hook. So it would be great on front door, or, you know, hang it over something as, you know, replace a mirror or another picture, hang it up for spring in your home. It was just a great piece. So it's gonna go to the booth for sure. This at the thrift store was kind of random, but because it was only $1, I grabbed it. So it is just kind of an old mid-century, this is kind of bent, like sheaf of wheat, maybe that's what it is, with this little curly Q around it. It's got a hook to hang right here. So, you know, hang it up. It's not necessarily my style, but people are liking these quirky mid-century things. You know, hang it up and down like this, or put it over a mirror or some artwork right here for $1. It was worth it, and I'm gonna stick it in my booth. This I kind of took a chance on. I went back and forth about it if I wanted it or not. It's just an old, you know, kind of mail slot. It's got a sticker on it. I still need to clean it up. It's kind of dirty. I need to wipe it down. It was $2. But like, I think it was it looks like it was handmade. It's just a piece of plywood. And like, you can see all the little nails. I think somebody made it. I really do. So the reason I got it is because I think once I clean it up and I oil it, I have a hemp oil that I sell in my store and that I use to oil all of my old wood things. I think it'll really bring out kind of the pretty patina of this wood. And people aren't using, you know, letter sorters like this so much anymore, but in kind of a farmhouse style kitchen, this would be adorable hanging on the wall with maybe, you know, a little teacup, cream or sugar, or you can put some succulents in here, turn it into a planter. It could go outside, do some faux greenery in it. I think it would make just a great little wall accent for kind of that farmhouse style once I clean it up. So for $2, I thought it was worth a try. We'll see what happens with it. Okay, this is not something that I normally buy, and I don't really know a lot about it, so maybe you can help me. But it was in the case at the thrift store, but the price on it was 75 cents. So it's an old hairpin, I believe. Am I correct, right, in thinking that it's a hairpin? That's what it said on the tag, and that's what I assumed when I saw it. So look, it's really pretty, isn't it? You know, I don't know. I don't know a lot about it, but for 75 cents, I thought it was a pretty piece. Even if somebody who's making jewelry wanted to mount it, you know, or put a hook on it and turn it into a piece of jewelry, it would be great like that. So I don't know. I'm curious if you have knowledge of pieces like this in the comments, let me know. Okay, I think this is my favorite thing that I found at the thrift store. And some of you guys are gonna say, Melanie, that is so ugly or so weird or whatever. But I bought it because I've never seen one like it before, nor could I find a similar thing online. I found something that looked similar to it, but nothing that looked exactly like this. And I'm pretty sure somebody made it. So it is an old nut cracking kit, all right? And it's got still all of the pieces in here that you need. And it's like a little well. Isn't that fun? You know, some folk art, that's what I meant to say. Somebody I'm pretty sure just, you know, built this thing, put it together. There's no marks or anything on it. But even the fact that it's still got all of the utensils was a great find. And this was $5. So for sure worth the risk taking for $5. I did find other examples selling online of pieces like this that kind of look like they're made out of a wood trunk, you know, and they've got the wood cracking. So I totally had something like this when I was a kid. Like it was, I don't remember exactly what it looked like, but I remember all of these little tools, and it would sit over on the fireplace kind of mantle. When it was Christmas time, we would hang out and crack nuts. That's what we did. So, you know, back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, when I was a kid, there were things like this around. So anybody that's kind of trying to create that kind of vibe or that kind of funky boho look, or just somebody that likes just interesting and unique pieces, I think they would like this. And I personally, even though it's not my style, I was really excited to find it. All right, so I told you I popped into an estate sale, and just a couple things to show you from there. I didn't find much. That's kind of how it goes. Estate sales, hit or miss. But I did grab these two old rulers. I mean, it was under $1 for both of them, but love the wood patina on them. You guys just, you know, when you're at estate sales and places, always dig around in the garage. That's where you're going to find a lot of the really cool stuff. Just interesting links, kind of cool patina to them. They were, you know, like I said, I think it was like 50 cents for both of them. I also grabbed a whole box. They had all of them, and I only brought 2 of them inside, but children's hour books. And so these are the vintage story books, and I bought 1 through 16. So the lady had the whole box there, and I offered her a price on the whole box, and she gave me a price for the whole box. Great color, illustrations in them. They're all, and you know, they're all still bound and in good shape. And don't worry, I'm not going to unbind these if you're freaking out about that. These books are somewhat collectible. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to sell them as a set yet. Not quite sure if they're going to the booth, online. I don't know. Great color though, and great to have a whole big selection of them, and especially for the price that I paid, I was excited to find them. Okay, and the very last thing from the estate sale, and the last thing to share with you guys in the haul today, is this tiny little Old New Testament. So this they actually just gave me for free. Somebody had written some of their favorite verses down in here. So I collect old Bibles. Here's a little group of them that I have, and they're like falling apart. This one especially, I mean, this one is 100% falling apart. In fact, I think the pages are even upside down. This one, the cover has come off of. This one, the date on it is 1922, if you can see it. So these I have kind of standing up on a shelf in my house. And so this one was sitting there. It's just the New Testament, but I grabbed it. I love it. I might keep it with these. I might let this one pass on to somebody else if there's somebody else that really wants this one. Yeah, I'm not seeing a date, but it's got some pretty little artwork in it. And I don't know, I just love old Bibles. I really do. And I like helping them find a new home. So, okay. All right, well, that's it. Those are our finds today. So I do have some of these items already listed in my online store, lostandfounddecor.shop, and you can find them in the Found Decor section. You guys have really enjoyed shopping from there. In fact, we're just about sold out from what we had in our past 2 hauls. So thank you so much for everybody that shopped with me. I know some of you guys are here to kind of shop, and some of you are here for inspiration. Some of you just like watching old stuff, all sorts of reasons. But if you're interested in shopping, you can find those items over in my online store. Again, not every single thing, but a lot of what we have here. And of course, if you're not a subscriber, please join us and subscribe to our channel. I'm always hunting down more old stuff. I love finding it, using it in my home, and learning about it. I've learned so much from you guys as I've been doing these videos. You know, there's just a lot that I don't know. And so it's great to hear from some of you guys that do know, and then we can all learn together, right? Awesome. So thanks so much for taking some time to spend the afternoon with me. And I hope everybody's had a great day, a great week. Again, appreciate you being here, and I will plan on seeing you guys in about a week, okay? Bye-bye.